the caseworkers, it should be after so often they should be trying to help them.
Definitely.
That instead of it being generation after generation, okay. Because when you're in the system, you have to see your caseworker, every 6 months? At least that's how it was for me back in the day, way
It's
back.
periodically, yeah.
All right. So you update what's going on. And are you going to school?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of them now, they offer that if you're in, they offer you going to school so that you can upgrade yourself so you can get the education to get off the system.
Yeah, but then you have to realize too, it's millions of people that's on the system. So it's just like, that would be like a lot of
Well, at least,
work.
yeah, well, it'd be a lot of work, but then you have to do something to try to help people so that they will be wanting to do something, or else they just stay, until they actually flatline.
And I think that's what welfare was meant for, was to help you out
stable you.
during a bad time, not
Right.
Not
carry
to
you the
live
whole
off.
Right.
life. And then
I think
and
they
there's
started
really
that.
people that really need it. There's really single parents, and there's people in real need. But it wasn't created to raise your kids for 18 years on
right.
it.
Because
And then have another one so you can add more years onto it.
yeah,
say the
because
number
didn't they
again?
cut something?
Can you say the number again?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. The number you can call in is 973-460-8931. Again, 973-460-8931. The lines are open.
Yeah, I was saying because aren't they doing something now that if you have a certain amount of kids now
But
you
there's
can't.
loopholes, because I remember a few years back, this is when Bush was, and they did a 5-year maximum where you were on it for 5 years, but then there's loopholes. So the laws are there, but then there's a way to go around them, so what's the point of having them?
Well, they also have it where after so many kids, if that's on it, anything after that, you will get the medical care, but you won't get a check.
But that's
for
what
them.
she was just saying.
Yeah.
There's still some type
There
of
are
loopholes.
loopholes.
But that
you
who
can't-
does that punish? Just like the caller said, you said,
Right.
it's the parents' responsibility to take those funds and the food stamps to take care of the kids.
That's what it's
But
programmed for.
but who if you're gonna cut off after the second or third kid, and this mom has another kid, who is
I
that
don't
punishing?
think they cut off the food stamps. I think they cut off the check.
But this baby's gotta eat.
Well, that's what the food stamps is for.
Yeah, they keep them with the food stamps. I think they even
And
increase
then
the
they get the
stamps.
medical
Go ahead,
care.
You know, my dad used to have a corner store, like a bodega.
Okay.
And every first of the month, this women will come in there and tell the kids they can have whatever they want, and then cash in the food stamp for money and go get their nails done. And their kid would literally just eat the first day of the month,
And that's it.
and then eat in school, and then they get you see them with their
That's
hair
how- yeah,
and their
but that's-
nails. And I know my dad was doing something illegal and completely,
But that's what happens because that's how they are now doing breakfast in school, because some of the kids, that's the only way that they get a chance to eat.
But that is not. That's
New
not
York.
just. I understand completely what you're saying, Ruth, and I don't disagree with you. I just think that we need to make sure that we understand that that's not just welfare and food stamps recipients. There's people who work, myself included, full time, and sometimes what's that meme on my money is not my money is the end of something about you don't have enough money till the end of the month. Sometimes there's no food.
But you do something about it. You know
What
I mean?
do you do?
No, I'm talking about you. I'm sorry you make it work. And
I
people
do.
People make it work rather than go and pimp the system. If you didn't have a choice, you will find a way.
But that's why I said I can understand on both sides that some ways I feel TR that they do need to be drug tested, and then I do understand you that in the caller that it is about the children. But at the end of the day, is the money really going
But the
for
caller
the
said
children
that
with the drug users?
it's supposed to be for the children, but he also agreed that yes, because it is supposed to be for the children.
If you're watching, call in because we've been stuck on this. We need some more opinions. So
Yes,
I think
please.
We
Nine-
need to agree to disagree, like
Yeah.
you said. TR,
yes, yeah.
Because I don't think we're gonna be on the same place.
because I feel sorry for the babies. You do. You feel sorry for the children, and
And they're not getting. They're not getting.
you want to have the parents to have that to make sure they helping the children. But just like she said, with her dad having a story, it's just like the
It's not
children is
going to the
only
children.
yeah. It's just
It's not going to the children.
Please call in 973-460-8931. Again, 460-8931. Yeah, it's just like, but I'm stuck with that. And then I'm like, dang, when I go out and get a job, well, I'm self-employed now, but when I go out to get a job, even if it's flipping burgers, I have to take a drug test.
And it's
And
not
I am
demeaning
working,
you.
right, and I'm working for my money.
It's not demeaning you, so I don't think that taking a
And
drug
if
test is demeaning.
that's right. And if I come out positive, then I guess I don't get that job.
There's consequences.
That's right. So if you're doing a drug testing and as being a welfare recipient, if you come out positive, you don't get that job, that check.
And maybe you shouldn't have your kids either, or there should be some intervention to make sure you're taking care
Well,
of your
that-
kids first.
That's a whole nother topic that we could talk about, because I've been arguing with this about somebody, and we all have to understand this, sociological point behind that. You know, the poorer you are, unfortunately, the more kids you have. It's a fact.
How was that?
Because you don't have access to some medical care, you don't have access to birth control, you don't have the education to know
But if
these
they're on
things.
welfare, they do have
Abstinence
that.
is always
Abstinence is
a choice.
but
But
you
Planned
have to be
Parenthood give out
educated.
free
You
condoms.
have to be
And it's a
educated.
cheap one. And they do
They
give out free
condoms.
condoms. And there's options out there. There's clinics out there.
But
There's
there-
Planned
I
Parenthood.
think
You're
it's just
absolutely
a-
right.
There's a lot of stuff, and that's the problem that we're creating this weak society that we
Yeah.
expect somebody else to solve
And
our
they're
problem.
lazy and they won't go out there and with the resources.
And they want somebody else to solve their problem, and that's the problem, that we have cuddled people so much that they want somebody else to take care of everything for them, even their birth control.
I definitely think what Lainey brought up is a psychological issue, whereas a lot of young people, they want to feel good because things are going on so bad and they don't know how to deal. So they're using one way is sex, and they're not really educated. And like you guys are saying, some of your points too. And yeah, the kids keep coming. I think it does go down that
It's
avenue.
from generation to generation.
Exactly.
It's a
That
cycle.
It's a cycle
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with them just wanting to feel good because of life being way it is. It has a lot to do
Yeah.
with they don't really know any better
It's the norm. They see it in, and
because
it's,
it becomes the norm.
I mean that the sex is what they're doing to feel good. That's one way to like
But
drugs for
every-
instance.
I don't even know if it's the sex
Rich or
that makes.
poor.
I think that's one way.
I don't.
even the
Rich
rich
or
people,
poor,
they
but-
use
but
sex
rich,
to feel
but,
better.
but rich people have access to the education.
There's access
to-
everywhere. I'm sorry.
there's
There's
not.
so many stuff
There's
out there.
not.
You,
There
you
think-
have to take an initiative. There's stuff for
If
everybody.
you don't
out
have
there.
food to eat and you don't have a place to live,
What
and,
does that
and
have
you,
to do with you having
then you are
sex?
not going to take the initiative to go down to the Planned Parenthood or to do other things and be proactive about not having babies and not having kids. You're going to live at the spur of the moment because, hey, darn, you might not eat the next. I may not be expressing it the right way, but there is a very strong connection with people who are poor and don't have access to certain things with how many kids you have, how much education you have, and what your future and your children's future is going to look like.